Well, I guess we're walking.
I hate walking.
Like 5 minutes ago, you hated flying.
And it turns out I was right about that.
Hey guys, welcome back. Left 4 Dead 2 Part 2. This time we are on Crash Course. This is chronologically the second campaign in the timeline. From last episode, we climbed to the top of Mercy Hospital, where this helicopter, News Chopper 5, gave us a rescue from the top floor. Turns out the pilot got infected.
Revoked. Dun, dun, dun.
So mid-flight, Zoe hit him with the blick, and we crashed in the middle of absolutely fucking nowhere. So now, Crash Course's entire gimmick is trying to fight your way out of another overrun city. That's a theme you'll see pretty commonly with these Left 4 Dead 1 maps. Crash Course is pretty interesting for what it is, because this was not released with the original run of the Left 4 Dead games. That's a rare drop to find laser sights. Crash Course not released with the original run of Left 4 Dead. It was not on the disc. This was essentially a DLC campaign. Because Left 4 Dead 1's campaigns don't line up exactly. Left 4 Dead 2's very much do line up. And, you know, Left 4 Dead 2, you go from Dead Center to Dark Carnival, so on and so forth. Left 4 Dead 1, you just kind of go from place to place without explaining much. And so the reason they added Crash Course was to bridge the gap between No Mercy and Death Toll. But because Crash Course was a post-launch edition, it is very short. It's only 2 chapters long. One of them being this chapter, the Alleyways, I believe it's called. The second one being a combined chapter of a standard level that you would progress through, much like this, as well as having the finale, which makes this campaign very interesting. One, it's very good for achievement hunting, if you're trying to do achievements, like the one where you have to complete the campaign using only melee weapons. This is a very good campaign to do that on, because it's so short. Where most campaigns you would have to spend, 30, 40 minutes doing it. This, you could do it in 20, 30 minutes, depending on how many times you fail. Especially if you put it on easy. If you put this campaign on easy, melee only, you could probably bust it out in 10 minutes. Oh, another jockey. Okay. And it's also, because it's so short, it's good for practicing speed running. I'm not going to say I'm a great speedrunner at Left 4 Dead 2. But I've definitely tried. It's one of the more entertaining games to try to speedrun, in my opinion. So if you're looking to get into it and just learn some basic tech and just try and improve at the game, I'd try Crash Course. Because, again, it is so short. If you mess it up, there's not that much time lost. If you mess up a longer campaign, that takes 12 minutes, something like that, on terms of a world record speedrun. Crash Course, much quicker. And Crash Course being so short also had interesting implications for what I was going to do with this series. Or Rock with the Dualies. Because it's so short, I didn't originally know what to do. I thought about making it a double feature, where it was going to be Crash Course and Death Toll blended into one video. But the problem is the first part was just No Mercy. No Mercy alone took us quite a bit to get through. I think that video ended up being 37 minutes long. So 2 campaigns, even if one of them was shorter, would have taken a lot longer to get through. So instead I decided to have this episode come out much quicker, obviously, less editing, less recording time, and then eventually we'll move on to the proper next campaign in Death Toll. And I have a lot to say about Death Toll. This campaign, honestly, it's interesting. It isn't that great. It doesn't stand out too much. There's not too much special about it. It does have a pretty fun panic event coming up here. But other than that, it's very standard. Just more walking through dark city streets at night. This area in particular, though, is one I'm not a fan of. I feel this part of the map always gets me. Whether it be a special infected, or a witch, or just a random horde spawn, this part of the map always gets me. We do got our
I'm
first
grabbing a
tier 2
shotgun.
weapons. I'll take it.
I'm gonna take this rifle.
Too bad we didn't get the laser sights around here. You know, last episode I said I would try to... Oh. Last episode I said
We can get that
I would try to crown a witch. That did not happen. I didn't attempt to crown the witch. I was a little more distracted. Did not get to it. This episode I feel like I have to make up for it. And because this is such a short campaign, there's not much to lose. That being said, I do have to find the witch. Not exactly sure where she is. I think she's over here. Where? Oh, there she is. Okay, we're gonna try this.
Fire that gun?
Okay, you know what? Didn't crown her, but it worked. Okay. Like I said in the first episode of this series, I'm a bit rusty. I'm not as good as I was a couple years ago. A couple years ago, I, with a buddy, completed this game on expert realism to get the achievements. So I was cracked at this game back then. Since then, I haven't played it nearly as much as I would like to. Again, this is one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm not too great at some things, like crowning witches.
Is somebody gonna
Here's
fire that
the
gun?
cool panic event. You get to fire this big old 155 howitzer to clear that bridge. Boom.
Ammo here.
This is one of the few panic events that makes sense to actually set off a horde, because it's just such a loud event.
Watch out.
What we're actually going to do is throw that bile jar over there. That should help us. So we got fire covering us on two sides, bile jar luring them. I'm just going to shred them up with this AK here. Probably going to drop the AK for that shotgun. But for right now, the AK is so much more beneficial to have this range. I do have a very slight texture mod on my AK, if you can't tell. A bit of gun trivia. The AK in the base game is based on an AKM, which is something only people with very nerdy specific interests would be able to tell. And the reason I decided to... Oh goodness, no, Lewis. The reason I decided to have such a minor texture mod change off the Steam Workshop, you know, the difference between an AK and an AKM, something that ultimately doesn't matter. They really don't want me to tell this story. Okay. We finally got some room? Okay. The reason I decided to change my AK to an AKM is because that reload animation the AK uses in this game is actually historically accurate to Soviet military doctrine. That reload animation is how the Soviet army in the Cold War would have instructed soldiers to have reloaded the AK using exclusively the right hand. That's how a lot of old battle rifles... Oh my... I have never encountered this before. I am woefully ill-prepared for this. I didn't have my Molotov, I didn't have the AK I wanted. Alright. I've never seen the tank spawn this late into this chapter before. And it looks like everyone's just getting flattened. Okay. Could have been worse. Bill, are you gonna help?
Anytime.
And I'm guessing we're gonna get a random horde event soon. Oh, yep. Bill's getting got. Boomer behind me. Jockey. No, 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 no. Go to hell. Okay. I just want to be done with this chapter. They've decided to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at us in this last 20 yards to run.
Every part of me hurts.
But here we are. Chapter 2's beginning, Chapter 1's end. We're halfway through.
Whew.
This chapter actually has interesting lore implications here, because a lot of the safe rooms in this game have this wall graffiti on them. So here you can see evacuation centers, Whitney County, Fairfield, you know, Mercy Hospital. That's where we just came from. Fairfield area, Borden High School, Riverside First Church. Riverside is where we're going to in Death Toll. And here's this map. This map's interesting because you can see down at the bottom, there's the implication of Left 4 Dead 2. You see Georgia's overrun and Louisiana isn't. And if you know the Left 4 Dead 2 plotline, you start in Georgia and cross the American South and end up in Louisiana. Up here you can see we would be about there. The geography of Pennsylvania is a bit off in this game. I'm from Pennsylvania, I would know. And it appears we're going to this northeastern safety zone up by what would be Erie. But this map has interesting implications because of all these western zones crossed out. Lore-wise, that's not supposed to be overrun yet. So either that's an inconsistency or that's implying something different. For this level, you know, we're gonna rock with the Scar. Now this chapter's a bit interesting because if you mess up, you mess up bad. Most finales, if you mess up the finale, you walk out the safe room, you grab your ammo, you start the finale again. Let's go. This finale, you have to do the whole walk up all over again. So messing up on this one's really punishing in comparison to other finales in the game. And it typically goes like that for the short chapter campaigns. And the reason I picked the Scar here, even though I hyped up the shotgun, I wanna do some variety in this playthrough. I don't just want to use the same, you know, 4 or 5 guns everyone who plays this game optimally does. Not to say you can really meta game Left 4 Dead 2. It's a pretty balanced game overall. But I feel like the Scar doesn't get used too much just because it's so weird, to put it lightly. It's 3-round burst, it has the most ammo, it's very accurate, not as high damage. Most people, they'll either prefer the fire rate of the M16 or the outright damage of the AK. They won't really think too much about the Scar. And growing up when I was playing this game on the Xbox 360, the Scar was always, that was a fallen survivor. You can't hide from me. Your buddies might help you though. Yeah, okay, I don't think we're getting him. Yeah, he's gone. But now that I think of it, we might rock with the grenade launcher just a little. Just a little. Nope, I think I want a regular weapon. What? Did this game just troll me? No, did the tank just throw rubble into that car alarm, resulting in a horde event and the tank at the same time? Oh, I really wish I had a melee weapon right now. Oh, goodness gracious. Get off. I'll take it. Oh my. This game... These are the type of, looks like Bill's died again. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my. Get over here. That Molotov would have been helpful to have earlier. That was a really bad thing to happen. Oh my goodness. I can't believe the game did that to me. I really can't. That was a complete disaster. Oh. That's why I love this game though. Because something that crazy has never happened to me before.
Weapons here.
I've never experienced a chain of events like... I'll have to rewatch the recording. I'm not sure what happened. I think the tank threw a rock that ended up hitting the car alarm. I think that's what happened. I might not be right about that. I'll have to watch the recording and see. Because either, if that didn't happen, then I'm a real idiot. Because I screwed myself over there. Yeah, this is why I love this game. Because crazy ass things like that can just happen to you. And if I was playing on expert realism, or I guess just realism, I would have been cooked. Francis would have most certainly died. I would have probably died there. And those two AI that died, they wouldn't have been coming back. Whew. Okay, I feel, you know, as a commentary-wise, I feel the need to keep talking, but gameplay-wise, I kind of want to take a breather after that. I was really taken back by that. I did not expect that to happen. I did not expect to survive that. And there's another witch. I don't think I even want to hang out with her this time. After what I just went through, witch, not my friend. I do hear a boomer. Nope. 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 You want to know what's really funny?
Reloading.
I've been on YouTube for a while. My channel dates to 2015-ish. So, depending... Oh, goodness. Another incoming attack. Nope. Nope. Fuck off. Depending on when I decided to start this series, the boomer might have been the funny... Oh, God. There's the charger. The boomer might have been the funny infected. Now, because of the Minecraft movie, you know, Chicken Jockey is the funny one. I'm sure if I looked on the workshop, I could get Jack Black Chicken Jockey sound replacer or Chicken Jockey retexture or something. But if this was 2020, OK Boomer would have been everything. This is a rare gun. We'll use this just to show it off. This is one of the Counter-Strike weapons they added. Its gimmick is it has this zoom feature. And the zoom feature actually slows down your rate of fire.
Watch my back.
You jerk. I clearly wanted fucking jag off. But otherwise, this gun's pretty much the M16. It's very similar to the M16. Probably less accurate in base fire, with when scoped, much more accurate. We're actually... No, oh, there's the hunter. Charger. You know, when I used to play this game as a kid, probably a lot before I should have been playing this game, the Charger used to scare the fuck out of me. The Charger used to really fucking scare me as a kid. As opposed to all the other infected, you know, because the Spitter's kind of grotesque, the Jockey's pretty gross looking, the Boomer's just kind of funny looking, let's be real here. The Tank is kind of comedic.
Let's go through the truck yard.
Smoker's pretty normal looking, all things standard. You don't really see the Smoker up close too often anyway. So from a distance, he just kind of looks like a regular dude. But the Charger, as a kid, the Charger used to scare the ever-living shit out of me. Half because he's just a big, scary dude. Well, I guess a third because he's a big, scary dude. Another third being he charges at you super quick, just you know, full speed charging at you. And third, I think his sound design is the scariest in terms of the zombie noises. The sort of growls, or more like howls he makes. Here's the finale though. You know, so we had to do all that walk up to get here, as opposed to most, where you just walk out the safe room and you're there. So this finale, we're at this depot. Turn on this generator, which powers this vehicle lift. Somebody, no idea who, I don't think they imply it in the safe room at all, built this sick-ass zombie-killing van. I believe this is a reference to a film. A lot of things in the Left 4 Dead games are references to specific zombie films. But this one escapes me at the moment. So we have to hold out here, wait for this big lift to lower the van, and then the van becomes our escape vehicle. I have a new mouse. The mouse wheel is much more sensitive than I'm used to. I wanted to click to zoom in. It switched to the secondary. I did not mean to let Lewis get dragged like that. And the interesting thing about this vehicle is we actually, escape in this one ourselves. Usually there's a driver or a pilot of some kind. This time it's all us. Again?
Reloading.
Okay. I heard you, jockey. You can't fool me. I'm familiar with your game. They do give you another minigun here. This is something Left 4 Dead 1 does a lot more than 2 does. Left 4 Dead 1 gives you a lot of miniguns and placed guns to hold out on, which is something I wish Left 4 Dead 2 did more of, because in 2 they redesigned the emplaced gun. When you do see the emplaced gun in Left 4 Dead 2, it's a much different gun. It's the Browning 50 cal, as opposed to in this game where it's the M134 minigun. I fucked up the Molotov. Oh, there wouldn't be an AK here. But even though they redesigned the emplaced gun, they... Weave, idiot. They redesigned the emplaced gun. It doesn't appear very much in Left 4 Dead 2. I think it appears in Swamp Fever, and I believe it appears briefly in the Parish, but it appears in a place where you would never want to use it. You would never think about using it. It's towards the very end of the bridge crescendo. I should potentially stop speaking so forward about this game in this series if I'm going to do a chronological playthrough. I probably should speak more in the present. I love this game so much. I love talking about it. It's something I really do enjoy, all the little details in this game. This generator is going to go down soon, which is when the panic of the survival event happens. There's a hunter. Shoot that guy. If you didn't know, adrenaline helps you do things much faster. Pretty much anything with this type of progress bar, adrenaline will help you do faster. So healing, reviving allies, activating generators, all those types of things, adrenaline will help you with. Pouring gas cans when looking at dead center, adrenaline will help. There's an achievement to revive teammates under the effects of adrenaline. I'm not sure if that was always in the game or if that was a last stand achievement. Can we get him? Oh, minigun saved me. That's what I thought. I believe the second tank is here. I know Jockey's here. Let's see if we can rip into him with the minigun a bit. Typically he likes running around the outside edge. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I really wanted to just pour it on him with the minigun. Don't have a very good loadout here. Shotgun and the nightstick. Nope. Okay. We're actually not going to leave anybody for dead this time. Or at least we're going to try not to. Come on. Come on, everyone. That was I've never heard that dialogue line before about Lewis wanting to drive. But yeah, there we go. We escape in the big zombie killing van. And that's Crash Course. It segues between No Mercy and Death Toll. Nobody died this time. Technically speaking, at the end, we did have 2 die at that surprise tank. 28 minutes. Like I said, this one's very short. Could have done it faster. I kind of rambled and lollygagged a bit. Let some of the credits play here. Not gonna leave the credits in entirely unedited because it is just a long scrolling wall of credits, but some of this stats are interesting to see. See if the damage or zombie kills is anywhere close to the last level. I think the last campaign we got about 1,500. 1,500 is what you can typically come to expect. Yeah, see, only 889, so about half. Anyway, that was episode 2 of my Left 4 Dead 2 playthrough. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to check back for part 3. It'll be coming sometime within the next week. So if you liked it, leave a like, a comment, subscription. Let me know, because if you liked it, I'll work harder to get these out quicker. So thanks for watching, everybody. Later.